customize indicator, right? So basically some of the things that we have done it. Now let's go from very, very basics and minimal. What we are trying to do is we are trying to add Bollinger Band, right? Add Bollinger Band, click here, find Bollinger, and this is how you'll typically add any overlays, right? So this is a very simple illustration of what we mean by adding Bollinger Band. The second one is change the default settings from RSI from 14 to 10, right? So let's go. We close this thing to keep it simple. RSI default setting is 14. Go ahead and change it to 10. We'll see the chart changing, right? The chart, so it was 14. When you change it to 10, you see the chart. There's a moment out here. You'll see that immediately on moving out of this thing, right? The chart changes. So if you feel that this particular setting is better for you, you can change it. Then changing overbought oversold level. So the default overbought oversold level is this one, 70 and 30. If you want to, if you feel that 80 is a better level, then you change it. So anything above 80 will go as an overbought oversold level. MACD, similarly, you can change MACD. Right? Let's remove this one and just go to MACD. Right? You can change the settings out here, right, to any other field, whether it is on close price or whether it's on any of the other fields that we discussed. Customize color. So basically, these what we try to use is some of the standard colors. If you feel that these colors are not the right colors, especially for some of the folks who may have some difficulties in distinguishing the colors, so you can choose some of the other colors also out here, right? So instead of red, you can change it to maybe something like more brighter color. If you feel that, you can change it. So some of the color settings are also available out here. Multiple overlays we have discussed. So in this particular part of this exercise, what we'll do is we'll go for parabolic SAR. Right, we go to parabolic SAR and we go to moving average, right? 50 moving average. 50 moving average. Right. You'll see that both parabolic SAR and 50 moving average is out here. Right. So this will help you to further read or understand the charts in much more better way. Right. So multiple bottom panels. These will be pretty repetitive, but the idea is what I'm trying to do is just give you an idea about some of the other features. So what we need to add is CCI. So what we have done is we have added two this thing, bottom panel. Then next is, now a lot of times, right, you would want to basically read more in depth. For example, if you feel that this one you need to have a broader view, so click here. So the view gets broader out here, right? So much bigger view compared to when you go back to the normal view. So this depending on screen size, if you feel that your screen size is not really optimal or big, so you can zoom out. Right. Similarly, go back. Right. So expand, collapse. You can move this thing up and down. So if you feel that for your settings or other things you want to save it, then the CCI is more suitable when it is above MACD. So you can change it to up and down as well. Right. Rearrange indicator position. We have seen that. Right. So expanded. We have seen. Moving MACD or this thing up and down we have seen. Okay, so now the next one which we are covering is slide, a very interesting feature. Not too many charting platform has that. So what it is, it says is slide overlays of Supertrend. We go here, find Supertrend. Supertrend is here. We are going with the default settings. Right? A lot of settings are available here, right? So it's like not like a standard settings, but a lot of settings are available here. So if you are a pro, then you may want to change a lot of settings. For this particular demo purpose and for this exercise, what we'll do is we'll retain the factory settings and come here, right? Now, what slide means? What slide means is sometimes you may want to see both of them together, but you may want to go and try to simulate some future or past, right? So when you want to see that, if let's say we keep slide 5, right? All right, sorry, not this one. We change it to Bollinger. It is more applicable to Bollinger Band. Bollinger Band. So Bollinger Band is here, right? So if you want to see that, what is the possibility of it being in a 5-slide range, right? So what happens is Bollinger Band in its current state moves by 5 days or 5 ticks here, right? Similarly, if you put -5 here, then what happens is Bollinger Band stays at its level, the price moves ahead, right? So this is how you can try to see that, what could be a possibility of it breaching in next few days. Again, it's like something which you have to visualize. What we try to do is we try to move the overlay with the price both in forward as well as backward direction, right? So that you can try to look at it in a slightly different way. All right, so we have covered advanced customized indicator. We have seen this, right? Not much point of doing it because we roughly now know what it is, but I'll just give you one simple example. The reason, guys, one of the reasons why we have these things, so many things, right, is basically we share these slides with you so that it helps you to, pick if you have not, basically there could be network outage, right, for small time or any other thing, you may get disturbed, you're sitting at whatever, right? So that's why we have a lot of exercise. Doesn't necessarily mean that we'll cover all of them, because if we do, it can become a little boring, right? So basically, just for the sake of this session, what we have is on close price, you can change it to other period as well. For example, you do OHLC. So if you do by OHLC, you'll see there's a slight movement in the chart, right? You do on high, there'll be slight movement on the chart out here, right? So if you feel that you have messed up, let's say the 21, and you don't remember what this particular thing is, you can always go back to factory settings, which is 12.26.9. Right? RSI, same things. You can play RSI on other things. Bollinger Band, again, you can change things. Right? It'll be pretty much like a primary school exercise if we do all of them one by one. But the idea is just to give you enough things so that there's a very good possibility that you'll remember these things. And if you don't remember, that's also okay. You can always refer to these slides at a later period. Right? Similarly, we have created certain exercise for you. Right? Going for default. You can do custom all these things, right, or by yourself, maybe after the session or at a time where you feel more comfortable with. Right? Same thing is you can play with this thing, customize MA period. Before we go into safe charts, let's look at the questions if we have any. Yes, kindly explain zoom in, zoom out, the date change. Right? Please explain right arrow, left arrow. Yeah, let's do that. Right, so this is a very simple chart that we have, right? So, okay, let's go back to the factory settings. Right. Default settings for all. Okay, and we close this. All right. Now, basically, sometimes the charts are comes with a default period, right? You may want to look at a bigger chart or a smaller chart. So when you do this, the length of the chart increases. So here it is till April. When you zoom, it goes to the March, and similarly you can do this thing. You can also do same stuff using mouse, right? Mouse wheel. If you want to go back to a previous setting, you can always go to 6 months. Similarly, if let's say if you want to zoom more on this particular area, so plus, right, you go back here, and if you want to move right, or you want to zoom in again and move left. So there's some sort of flexibility which is available here. All right, so going ahead, saving charts, right? So basically, let's say you've done certain settings, right? And then you don't want to go with the same settings again and again. For example, we've taken an EMA, MACD, or maybe let's add 1 or 2 more, right? So let's add simple moving average on this settings. Or maybe let's take it to 1 year chart. right? 1 year chart with these many settings, right? Now, how to save this? Click on save. Give it a chart setting name. Demo August 2nd, right? You save it. Okay, so it is saved, right? Now, let's say you are on a different, so anything that we save, what we saved is demo 2 settings, right? Anything that you save comes out here. Also, you have an option of save and manage, wherein you can modify the settings. So what we have saved now is basically demo 2, right? So if you feel that this is not the right settings, you want to change from 5 SMA to maybe, let's say, 50, right? So close it, then go to save, and then you want to modify this settings, so update it. So the setting changes to the one which we have done, right? So let's say we go back here to any other settings, and we want to go back to our settings which we saved today. Go back here, demo 2nd August, you'll see that setting out here, right? The MACD and other settings that we did out here. Delete, same thing. If you feel that, go to settings, you feel that this setting is not right setting for you, you can delete it or update name out here, right? Or you can also apply to this chart 15 SMA and MACD. So this is 15 SMA and MACD on quarterly chart, right? So that's what this particular setting was, perhaps part of one of the demos that we have had some time back. Okay, delete, save on servers. Now, this is an interesting thing. Let's say the settings that we did was 2nd August, right? Now we want to save it, but we don't want to save it locally, but we want to save it on server, right? So this is ACC. I want to, maybe you find a very interesting one and you want to share with your friends. So basically ACC looks bullish. Save it. Save it. So this is where you will see that the chart setting is there. Now you can share this particular link with your friends to see that, you know, how this particular chart is. So it is not only your learning, but your basically research. You can share your research with your friends also. Download the next is download. If you feel that this is a good setting for you, right? You want to save it for your reference. So save and then download it, give it a meaningful name, and then this is where you will see your chart coming up. Right? Your chart is here, download it locally. You can share this thing with your friends, right? Share this chart with your friends on some of the standard social media platform, and give a brief write-up here, interesting chart on ACC, and then you can share on Facebook or others. Okay. So if you want to share, it will take you to Facebook. Okay, so this is pretty much about some of the things about saving the charts. Do the hard work. Don't let your hard work go away. Just save it.